What's going on, my peoples? Kevin King Supreme in the building from okaybeatz, and we back with another tutorial on how to make beats. So we're gonna get right to it, and I don't know, I guess I'm gonna put you on to some synths and different plugins that I might use to select my sounds and stuff. So let's get right into it. First thing I'm gonna do, open up FL Studio obviously, and go straight to my tempo. I want this track to be upbeat, so I'm gonna go to like about 162 BPM. I'm gonna go straight into an 808 first. I feel like getting the 808 pattern together first before I even start a whole song. So I like this right here. Go ahead and drag that into the sampler. What kind of pattern? Okay, turn on this metronome real quick. First things first, I know I have to go into the pattern window and cut self right here. Hit cut self. Also send this to a track. Go ahead and on this track. Press play. So I noticed I did that on the wrong note, but I'm gonna go ahead and correct it here in the piano roll. Okay, that sounds about right. So now I'm gonna go ahead. Go into my channel rack here, press that little plus sign, go into a different plugin called hats. Basically what this does is when you hold down a key, it plays hats for you in different patterns. So here we go. Okay, so I hear something I want to play with. Let's see that. Okay, I like that pattern. I'm gonna send this to a track. See what that sound like right here. I could go ahead and quantize this by selecting all Alt Q. Okay, so maybe now we can search for some snares. Go into chops. Okay, I like this. so I like the way that's sounding right there. We got a decent basic pattern going on. I'm gonna go ahead and complicate the claps a little bit, because I'm still gonna put a snare, but this clap is gonna go on in the background. So I'm gonna go ahead and just complicate it a little bit. Alright, so that's sounding pretty good. Another thing that I want you guys to pay attention to today in this session is look at how organized my desktop looks. Look at how organized my workspace looks. Like, I have access to everything here. I have two screens. Y'all not seeing the two screens, but I have two screens. I'm not even using both screens. I only need one screen literally to do everything. When I'm not making videos, I do use both screens. I put the meters or the mixer display on the other screen, and then every other window, stays on my main display. But the whole point is that I could fit everything in one display, and I'm able to do that easily and still have access to everything that I need to be looking at in this session. Also, if I wanted to get rid of any of these windows, all I have to do is X out of them, and I know how to bring them right back. So all of these buttons right here are set up so that can happen very easily, or relatively easily. You just got to do a little bit of tweaking here in the background, in the display background. You could right click on it, and then you could go to edit right here, because this is so you could put different types of factory presets for the organization. But you could edit it as well, and when you edit it, it gives you a lot more freedom to get rid of things that you don't need and make the tools that you do need more accessible. Excuse me guys today, by the way. My voice is really bad because I'm type sick, but I hope these gems are still getting across to y'all. But anyways, as we were saying about the beat, it's sounding pretty full. Now really all we need to do is kind of focus on a melody, and that's also going to happen relatively easily when we go ahead and choose a plugin that's made for melodies. So let's go with something that may offer us some bells and things like that. I got this plugin called Gorilla Nation. This is what it looks like, and it has 808s, it has basses, bells, brass, choirs, flutes, guitars, a bunch of stuff. That's why I love this plugin, because it got a little bit of everything, and then it has just enough parameters that you could tweak to get the sound, to sound the way you want it to sound. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and choose bells, as I said, and then it also has a selection of bells that I can choose from when I press on the bells category. So I'm gonna check that's not this knockout. Alright, let's see what this sounds like in the mix. Okay, so we're gonna do that for basic, like, undertone. So that's that. Always quantize. Just level out the velocity of each one of these notes, because we don't want it to clip. Also keep the metronome on for just so you can stay on beat. So now we could give this its own track right here in the mixer, and then we could go here to the playlist editor. That's what this screen right here is called. If I wanted to bring back the piano roll, all I have to do is click this button up here, and then I could easily edit whatever I need right there. If I needed to search for a sound, I have my sound selection browser right here, all the way to the left of my screen. If I wanted to mix anything, I could just go right here into the mixer and tweak the faders and the plugins and whatnot. So I'm gonna go here to pattern. There's this pattern right here. Right click on that. Split by checking. That's gonna allow me to have each individual instrument separated. Highlight all of them and drag them into this playlist editor. So as we can see right here, I'm gonna go ahead and exit out of this mixer track. We don't need to look at that right now. I'm gonna go ahead and copy and paste this across to like a minute and change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have a cool 16 bars that we're working with initially. The first 4 bars I wanted to just be those bells. So I'm gonna eliminate these instruments right here. And then for the next 4 bars, we're gonna eliminate just the drums, except the clap. Let the clap come in. So we're gonna listen to that real quick. Put that in song mode right here. Turned off the metronome. Happening is these bells have some low frequencies that are unnecessary, so we're gonna have to go ahead and put an EQ, parametric EQ2 on there from Fruity Loops on the Gorilla Nation track, and we're going to drop anything below about 150 hertz. See what that sounds now. Less clashing between those two instruments. So we're gonna go ahead and search for another counter melody that is gonna give it a different, or not a different vibe, but complement its vibe. Maybe a flute. I think I can hear a little flute. So we're gonna check out this Banzuri flute. This is a pretty dope one. Let me see. Something like that might work. Alright, something like that. Actually, what I should have done was I should have put that in a separate, channel. So what I'm going to do is, because I want to separate this, I want to copy this and then delete it, and then add another pattern here, name it Flute, go back to it, and then paste it. So now I can open it up in its own channel, and also to come over here and drag it in to the mix. So this is gonna start with the rest of the beat. And also I'm gonna go ahead and give this its own track on the mixer. Turn that down some. Turn off this metronome. So I went ahead and sprinkled that little sound effects right there across that loop, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna take this crash right here, and I'm gonna reverse it. So double click on it, click on this little reverse button here, put it in its own track. I also want to put this sound effect in its own track. Turn them down some. Turn those down a little bit. Yeah, I want it to start exactly when the drop starts, so I'm gonna push that all the way back. Much better. Alright, so basically right here we got ourselves a little loop, a little minute and a half tune, as you can say, or a beat. This is actually a beat already. It's just, you know, we ain't finished. We're gonna go ahead and mix it a little bit now. So I'm gonna go ahead and just listen for any inconsistencies in the volumes, and I'll bring it down or turn it up as needed. And if we need some kind of plugins, you know, compressors or effects or anything like that, we'll go ahead and, you know, show you that. But for now, we're just gonna handle the loudness of each fader. Off the back, I know I want to add something to this because I don't want it to bore us right away. So I want it to be a little bit more intriguing and kind of just bring us in a little bit more. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that drip on it. Find that preset I like, diamond, I usually go for. Then pull back on it some. And I'm gonna also put quick chorus effect on that. And then the next thing I'm gonna do, I'll go for that stereo CLA 2A. By the way, the chorus is for Arturia. Let's put some of this gain up on the compressor. Put this compression up a little bit. Give it this 60 hertz on the analog button. Then pull back on the mix a little bit. See what that sounds like. See, that gives it a lot more dimension off the back. Okay, so I said I wanted to make that clap kind of like texture. So we still got to put a snare, and I'm going to add some reverb to this clap, just so it could sit nicely in the background. Fruity reverb too, you know, just stay stock with it, because this is a pretty good sound of reverb. Bring up the diffusion all the way, the size, the diffusion as well. Bring up the decay time. Bring down the bass. Give it a little low cut. Make it wet all the way. And then turn this mix knob down about 25%. Let's hear it. Also, this little icon right here is for the stereo effect, so we're gonna also give it a little stereoization. Do some quick EQing over here right on the mixer. That's the good thing about FL Studio. Shave off the lows. Anything below about 400. Sweep real quick just to see what sounds good. So I can keep a little bit of it at least. Shave the lows off these hats. Definitely don't need no lows on no hats. To about 2K maybe. Let's hear it. Put some compression on that. Go for the hats and claps and snares and stuff like that. I usually go with the CLA 76, you know, it's an emulation of the 1176. Any emulation might do, but you know, I mess with the waves. I like the waves. I like UA. I like Sound Toys. I like Sugar Bites. I like there's a bunch, man. Like Arturia. Arturia are some of my favorite plugins. You know, so you know we're gonna keep exploring through different videos, and you know, as you guys accompany me in my journey and stuff like that. So let's hear this. That is coming in. Another thing I might do to these hi-hats, I might put that halftime plugin on it. Halftime is a plugin that changes any melody or any instrument or any percussion, any drums, anything you want to put this on. It gives it another layer of texture by slowing it down and then, you know, pulling back on the mix knob and also manipulating which frequencies you want to affect. So let's listen to that real quick. Sounding. So another thing that I'm gonna do is go into this flute now and add some compression to it just to help it glue a little bit better to the mix. So I usually put that CLA 2A stereo compressor on melodic instruments. Turn up this 60 hertz right here, turn up the gain a little bit, bring up the peak reduction, and press play. now I gotta go in and scoop some frequencies out that are clashing with the other instruments. So usually I go ahead and put that parametric EQ2 on there and just kind of scoop out anything below like 200. You know, just scoped as necessary as you go. A delay on there. I want an echo effect for that flute. Usually go with the H delay from Waves. Put it right. You can put it right on the track because it's not like vocals or anything like that. You know, so you could put the actual effect on the instrument instead of routing it to another track with that effect. So go ahead and manipulate this high pass a little bit, low pass a little bit. Bring that feedback up to like 77. Bring this BPM to about 1/4, and put it on ping pong mode. And and also I like to put this depth and modulation rate up a little bit so we can hear some different harmonics with those delays. Also, we want to pull back on this dry and wet knob so we don't get too much washy effect. Let's hear this. Sounding. So another thing that I like to do is I like to group all of my melodic instruments. So in this case, I only have two, I believe. Let me see, the Flute and Gorilla Nation. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and highlight both of these tracks, Gorilla Nation and the Banzuri Flute, and I'm gonna go all the way to the next available insert, which is insert 8 in this case. Go all the way down here in this little arrow, right click on it and say route to this track only. Then I'm gonna come back up here, hold shift and click on it and rename this melodics because all of the melodic instruments is on here. I'm also gonna change the color of it to pink, something like that, just to remind me right away that this controls melodic tracks. I'm also gonna go ahead and highlight all of the melodic tracks, change their position in the mixer so I know exactly where to find them right away. I like to do that with all of my instruments actually. So I go with the bass drum, which is the 808 in this case, then goes the clap or the snare, and then goes the hi-hats. So that's usually the order I like to keep it. Percussive stuff go like after the low percussive stuff, which is the bass and the kick drum usually. But in this case it's just the 808. We just got a clap so far and we got hats. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into, before I forget, I'm gonna go ahead and look for a snare. Like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and drag that in. Give this a tone track, and then the mixer window, get all the way back next to the clap here. And then another thing that I want to do is go to make another pattern over here. Name it snare. Open that. And then make ourselves a basic snare pattern. For trap, it's usually the same. It's usually that right there. And we're gonna go ahead and drag that to the mix and highlight it by itself. Copy and paste it all the way through the entire beat. And then manipulate it as needed. So here we go. Let's listen to it. I'm gonna peel back on this H delay real quick. Into the melodics real quick, and I'm gonna put a Kramer Pi compressor on it, stereo, just to bring all those melodics together. And then I'm gonna put some EQ on it, just to shave off some lows and just some clashing stuff. So let's see what it sounds like. Hats a little bit so they could sound better in the mix, and I might go ahead and just highlight all of those and put them back slightly. See how they sit like that. So let's go ahead and make this snare stand out a little bit. Go ahead and put a CLA stereo compressor on there, CLA 76, and jack up the input some. Bring this release all the way up there. Go into this master track real quick, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this T-Rex clipper on there, the TR5 classic clipper, and make it a little edgy right here. Bring up this gain just slightly, like 1.1. Listen to that. Highlight all of these tracks real quick and bring them down for the sake of the whole mix. So let's see what that sounds like. Everything sounding more or less the way I want it. So I'm gonna go ahead back to this master bus and insert a parametric EQ2. Right click on the presets here, go to 30 Hertz plus 18 kilohertz cut. So this way you can cut anything above 20K and cut anything below about 28 Hertz, because you can't hear none of that anyway. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put another parametric EQ on there and kind of tame the mids a little bit here. Anything around 400 to 500 or 400 to 600 range. Listen to it and then kind of just scoop anything out under there that's not necessary in the mix. Like the highs are not as balanced as they should be with the lows. So I feel like the lows should shine a little tiny bit more, and the highs need to come down a little bit more. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a tilt EQ. It's the type of EQ that basically controls both sides of the spectrum oppositely. So as you raise the lows, the highs decrease. Or as you raise the highs, the lows decrease. You'll see how that works. UAD makes it Tone Lux Tilt. There you go. It's called the Tone Lux Tilt by UAD. So I'm going to go ahead. I want this little line right here. This is what I want to happen. You see, this is where the highs would increase and the lows would decrease. And this is the opposite. The lows would increase, the highs would decrease. So it makes it a little bit less shiny or less bright, and it makes it a little bit darker, I guess. So you can't do it too much, because any little movement affects it, drastically somewhat. So let's see what that sounds like. see how that's sounding a lot more controlled? See, I'm gonna take it off and put it back on so you can hear what it sounds like on and off. That's off. That's on. Yeah, the difference is night and day. For me at least, my ears are trained. I hope you guys hear that though. Everything just sits better in the mix, you know. So after that, after taking out stuff and balancing all of the frequencies, now we're gonna put in some frequencies. So I'm gonna put in another EQ even, and that one's gonna be emulation of the Pultec EQ by Waves. This one's called the Puig Tech EQ stereo, and it's a really famous, popular EQ. And I'm gonna go ahead and add some lows. I'll boost the lows over here about 3, and boost the highs to about a 3 too. And it's gonna be at about 60 hertz and at about 4,000 hertz. And then I'm gonna bring this analog to 60 hertz, and I'm gonna bring the gain up about 3 dB as well. Let's hear what that sounds like, so I could know how much I need to pull back on this mix knob. Yeah, that was coming in a little bit hot, so I went ahead and pulled back on that mix knob, and I could hear that saturation coming in lovely. That harmonic distortion is coming in lovely. So last thing I want to do to this mix bus is put a little bit of compression on it, maybe the C4 stereo by Waves. That's going to tame some of the harshest frequencies. So let's see what that sounds like. Basically taming anything that's standing out too much. So I'm going to pull back on the mix knob a little bit because I just want to mix the dry signal in a little bit more. Yeah, because I like the way that snare slaps. You know, I want to hear that when I put it all the way up, the C4 stereo. I feel like that diminishes that, you know, that clap a little bit, or the snare. So this is sounding good. Let me see what else. I'm gonna open this clipper again and raise this gain a little bit more. Here it is. Clipping, which is a great thing. So I got a little bit more space for some saturation. We're gonna go ahead and put this. I'm gonna put you on actually. Waves has this new joint called the Magma BB tubes. So I'm gonna put that on there. Magma BB tube stereo. Guys, by the way, I got like 4,000 plus plugins. So I'm always going to be able to put you guys on, you know, and I always like buying new plugins too. So I'll always like to do reviews on stuff. I just don't know what you guys want me to explain to y'all. So If y'all could tell me in the comments, or hit me up on an email or anything like that, you guys are more than welcome to suggest content. So if you want to learn about a certain plugin a little bit more, just let me know. Anyway, we're gonna bring up the beast. It's the first thing I like to bring up on this plugin, and then listen to it, and then bring up the beauty as I hear it, or bring down the beast as I see fit. So here we go. Manipulating some of the parameters. One of the parameters on this BB tube stereo here is bass relief, which is awesome, because if you're saturating the entire track and you feel like the bass is way too heavy because of that saturation, now you can pull back on just the bass part of the saturation. So that's awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring that to about level 36. Also has a dry and wet mix knob, so I pulled back on that a little bit to mix in the dry signal. So let's hear what that sounds like. Further tame some of those frequencies that are standing out a little bit too much. So yeah, guys, this is basically all I got for you guys today. Wait. Go into my okaybeatz custom kit. Get my watermark on there. Somewhere over here. Put that in its own track. And also go to the mixer window and right click on the master fader, create automation clip right here. Out of that, right click on that last ball right there, copy value, right click next to it somewhere, and paste that value onto it. Create yourself a little fade right here. Alright, that's about it. Highlight everything. We'll go ahead and save this and bounce it down, and that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. The beat is gonna ride out with the video. So before I close up, I just wanted to let you guys know you can go to www.okaybeatz.com. That's okaybeatz.com. So you can buy yourself a sound kit that we have for sale that will help us out greatly. We got some more coming, and we also have beats on the website. And we also got our new music on the website. You already know Kevin King Supreme just dropped an album recently as well. Go listen to that. I would greatly appreciate that. Produced and recorded that myself. New album is called A Royal Odyssey by Kevin King Supreme. Is on all platforms. The link is going to be in the description. I hope you guys get a chance to check that out. Let me know what y'all think. So yeah, guys, we're just going to save this real quick. We're going to name this Flutie. Instead of Fruity, we're just gonna name it Flutie because there's a flute in it, and then we're gonna bounce it down and call it a wrap.